TC Spiritual Shepherd, welcome back to the Spiritual Shepherd YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about production. We're going to talk about produce. We're going to talk about fruit. We're going to talk about fruition, things coming to fruition, okay? All of these words mean something. All of these are about the harvest. They're about planting seeds. They're about bearing fruit, good fruit. Okay, you also have to see that some of the bad fruit that you were programmed to produce, let me say that again. Some of the bad fruit that you were programmed to produce is actually just meant to be fertilizer for you to cultivate good fruit in production. Presently, okay? So let's kind of talk about some of these different types of things and let's really start to cultivate. This has been a video that I've really been cultivating, which is this right here. Water, light, fertilizer, food, ground, like different types of things. You can see different inner correlations with all of these things that are intertwined. All of these things are intertwined for a specific reason, okay? And then there's certain expressions spiritually to you, okay? So what is light to you in your life? What is water in your life? What do you water? What kind of seeds do you water? What kind of experiences do you water? What kind of environments do you water? What kind of places and people do you water? What kind of relationships do you water? What kind of relationship do you water? Okay. Now your light. What is to light? How can you lighten people's day up? Do you lighten people's day up? Do you lighten yourself up? Are you light on yourself? You can see different correlations like this. Are you grounded? What are you grounded in? What type of environments do you like to ground yourself in? What kind of mindsets do you like to ground yourself in? What kind of heart space, feelings and emotions do you like to ground yourself in? It can be stoicism, by the way. What kind of physicality do you ground yourself in? What kind of relationships do you ground yourself in? I know I'm repeating myself. So that is the big thing. That's your harvest. That is your produce. Now, everything around you is production. You are literally, you have to look at what are other people producing? And that doesn't mean you have to produce the same way and the same thing that they're producing. You could take people's inspiration, you can utilize people's inspiration and add your own unique capabilities and abilities to it. Add your own unique individuality and interpretations and unique intuition into it. And here's the big aspect too, is that produce. You also have to look at the reverse aspect. What is consumption? Okay, this is super, super basic, but it's either that you have to diminish your expenses or increase your income. Okay, but this is also energetic income. This is also energetic expenses. This is also spiritual, which is energetic, but spiritual, emotional, mental, and see what your expenses are, see what your income is, and then start to reproduce. You are reproducing. So what you produce is also going to be your reproduction based on a seed is being planted and fertilized. So what is fertilizer in your life? What are the things that create momentum? The moment. What are the things that you do by a moment basis in momentum? What is the momentum that you cultivate? How do you fertilize more momentum in your life? How do you fertilize more produce in your life? How can you have a quicker harvest? A lot of people are I want to manifest this. I want this to come to fruition. Fruition. I want this to come to fruition. Why isn't this coming to fruition yet? And so, first of all, look at that mind frame, look at that mindset, rather than saying it's already in fruition. How can I already realize that it's already in fruition and I just want to reframe it or redirect it or channel it into this type of avenue rather than this type of avenue. You are disciplined. You just might be disciplined in your undisciplined. You are confident. You just might be confident in your unconfidence. You are abundant. You just might be abundant in your poverty. All right, let's keep going. What are you producing? What are you producing? What are you consuming? Are you an overconsumptive POS? Are you overconsumptive and non-productive? Because there's plenty of There's plenty of this running rampant, or not running at all, rampant, at least in the country that we're in. Okay, let's keep going. Produce. What do you produce? What is your production? Okay, and it's not just about work, being a workhorse. It's also about working smarter, not just harder. Okay, I'm not saying don't work hard, and I'm not saying just work smart. Okay, I'm saying do both. Do both. Like, do both. That's abundant mindset. If you're going to choose one or the other, that's more poverty and impoverished mindset. It's more scarcity mindset. You could do both. You could do both. You could do like 5 different things. And I'm not saying, put one egg in 5 baskets either. Okay. I'm just saying, like, find a niche, find a genre, and really start to channel in those types of things rather than always do all these different random things. Also, produce. Everything is producing exponentially and abundantly. So if you plant one seed, I've already talked about this, but if you plant one seed, that will produce 500 apples, or that will produce 500 oranges, or 500 lemons, or 500 limes. One seed, okay? Now, there's also in each of those limes, each of those apples, each of those, all of these different types of things, okay? Coconuts, bananas, any of these types of things, there's a multitude of germination that comes into that. There's multiples of fertilization that operates with that. There's certain environments that this produce operates in for best case scenario. Oranges in Florida, okay? Pineapples in Hawaii, okay? You see what I'm saying? Raisins for California, okay? You see what I'm saying? There's certain environments that you must operate in, that you have to be in. You have to move. Sometimes you have to move. Sometimes you have to move away from your family. Sometimes you have to move away from your friends. Sometimes you have to move 40 minutes away. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do because you're called to do it, not because you want to do it, but because you must do it. Now let's also keep going, guys. Here's the big thing is like that produce, okay? It has certain fertilizer that operates with it. That seed can also reproduce. Okay, so one banana or let's just one orange, okay, out of 500 oranges can make another 500 oranges, but also the other 499 oranges can also make another 500 oranges each orange, which is exponential growth, which is exponential compound interest. The first immortal being, okay, created, I'm talking about God, okay, he's obviously, like, I guess you could say not created. He's the creator. But you get what I'm saying. The whole concept of this is that we are made in the same image. We're made in the same exact image. And so if we already are doing things like this, what are you producing? What type of fruit are you producing? How are you producing fruit? Are you inspiring other people to produce fruit? Are you inspiring other people to go minimalist? Are you inspiring other people to stop underproducing and overconsuming? Are you inspiring other people? Are you inspiring yourself? Are you transcending your ego, or are you just living in your fleshly, basely consumptive desires? Are you just wanting to consume porn and food and soda? Or are you, going minimalist, going stoic, being on semen retention? Are you cultivating things like this? Are you going to start cultivating your manhood? Are you going to start cultivating your womanship? Are you going to start cultivating your queenhood and your kingship? Are you going to start cultivating stuff like this? Are you going to start to live in resonance and in reflection of the Most High? Are you going to start to mirror everything that Christ does, which is Christ-likeness? Mirroring them, mirror technique. Start to mirror the beings that you want to operate like. So start to see the correlation that fruit, produce, harvesting, seeding. Okay, what you reap is what you sow. So start to set certain seeds up and then sow more seeds that are very similar to that, and reap the rewards from what you've sown. So sowing good seeds, reap good fruit, Okay, reap the reward of good fruit, and then those good fruits can also produce more seeds to create more and more good fruit. So exponential growth, cultivating exponential growth.